So what is an HVAC system and how does it work? So maybe you're a first-time homeowner and you're really wondering what in the world is going on behind the thermostat. We're gonna talk about that. First off, we're gonna break this down in simple terms. How does it heat? How does it cool? And how does it move air throughout your house all day long? So first, we're gonna establish some ground rules first. HVAC stands for heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. So HVAC is the full system of equipment that keeps your house comfortable, whether it's summer or it's winter. No matter what the extreme temperatures are in your area, it is in control of keeping your home comfortable. But it's not just one machine, it's the combination of parts that help to move cold and hot air throughout your house. Yarbrough & Sons, we're here located in Oklahoma, specifically Oklahoma City. Most homes in Oklahoma use gas furnaces to heat their homes in the winter. A furnace uses either natural gas or electricity to produce heat, and that heat is moved by a blower motor to your ductwork that distributes hot air throughout your home. So honestly, the big battle in this is how are we going to efficiently and effectively move that heat throughout your home without losing any of that heat to heat loss or heat gain. So like I said before, here in Oklahoma, a lot of our homes use natural gas to heat people's homes, but in some different areas, some people use propane and others use oil. Just really depends on where you're at and what's available in your area. So there's also something called a dual fuel system. And what this does is it uses a heat pump to help heat your home in the winter when the temperatures are more mild. And when the temperature drops below a certain level, the gas furnace will kick on and heat your home. And so really it helps you save on gas whenever the temperatures are really cold. Dual fuel systems are becoming more common now than they used to be, just because heat pumps have actually gotten more efficient, and they're actually a really efficient way to cool your house in the summer and also gain some of that efficiency in the winter. So no matter the type of system you have, the goal is exactly the same, is to keep an efficient, even heating throughout your home all winter long. All right, so let's talk about cooling. We're switching gears. It's a little bit different. So an air conditioner and a heat pump don't actually produce cold air. What they do is they remove hot air in your home and bring it outside. What is happening is your coil is attached to your condenser through a series of two refrigerant lines. There's a liquid line and a suction line. As air moves up from the furnace and passes by the coil, all this refrigerant is running through this coil like this. So the air passes by the coil, and this refrigerant inside the system, we talked about that before, this refrigerant grabs the heat inside the air and travels outside to the condenser coil, where the condenser coil then condenses the refrigerant. We're gonna say it's summer in this scenario. The fan here is blowing air out here, and as it comes back, this refrigerant is cool again. So as this refrigerant heats up, brings the heat outside, the refrigerant condenses, it releases the heat through the condenser, and it sends it back to the coil cold. So this is hot, and this side is cold. And so it's going back to your system to repeat this process. And what you experience out of the plenum over here, it's really called the supply plenum, is cold air. So that it's just air that has had the heat removed from it, and it goes throughout your house. And so all these ducts go throughout your house, and this is the air that needs to be cooled off. If you've ever held your hand over the outdoor condenser and felt hot air, that is heat leaving your home via the condenser fan. So real quick, just a caveat, this entire process would not even be possible without refrigerant. Inside, the refrigerant absorbs the heat that passes by your coil that's attached to the top of your furnace or the bottom, depending on what way your system's oriented. And as that heat is absorbed in the refrigerant, it travels outside to your condenser, where the condenser dissipates that heat from the refrigerant and sends it back to the coil where it's cold again to repeat that process. But if you have a heat pump, we can actually reverse that process and bring heat from outside inside so that it heats up your home in the winter when the temperatures are a little bit more mild. And that's honestly why we think heat pump technology is so cool and has gotten really good over the last several years. Whether we're heating or we're cooling, none of this really matters if we can't move the air properly and efficiently. You could have the best air conditioner of the world. You could have a rocket ship of an air conditioning system, but if we can't move air from point A to point B, it doesn't really matter. And that is where ductwork comes in. So your ducts act like a highway that moves either hot or cold air, depending on the season, from where your furnace is located or your air handler to every vent in your home. So when your ducts are well designed, sealed, and they're able to move air from point A to point B efficiently, that's great. But the moment that we start having cracks in the system, there's leaky ductwork, not well insulated, we start losing efficiency, and you actually get hot and cold spots throughout your home because you're losing a lot of the air temperature from that point A to point B. So the end result is actually wasted energy and uneven temperatures. But maybe you're going, hey Will, I don't have an air conditioning system. I have a split system. Those are great. Mini splits actually don't have any ducts at all. They deliver hot and cold air to individual rooms throughout your house. You may have seen a mini split, maybe in a hotel room or maybe in a gym, perhaps an older restaurant that doesn't have enough room for ductwork. A lot of these mini splits are great solutions for places where ductwork might not be the most practical or feasible application. And so they are great at cooling off individual rooms or spaces. So whether you have a split system, a package unit, any type of system, whether you use propane, natural gas, oil, the whole goal is the same, is to keep your house comfortable, to move air and keep it efficient. All of these different components are meant to be matched together. So when one part struggles, the whole system struggles. And if the whole system is struggling, it can lead to a lot of different things like uneven temperatures, premature breakdowns, and can really even damage the system in a way that costs you a lot of money to fix. For us in Oklahoma, air conditioning systems have to handle some really extreme weather. We've got really humid summers, we've got dry winters, and we've got really big temperature swings. So air conditioners in Oklahoma have to really be matched to be able to handle really cold and really hot within a fairly short amount of time. That's why we really advocate for maintenance. Getting eyes on your system by a professional so that you can spot issues early and help reduce any unnecessary costs for you and your family. And when it does come time to replace your system, you're making the most informed and best decision you can for your house and for your family. Because when everything's working together, you get better air quality, better energy costs, and more comfort all year round. Hey guys, if you found this video helpful, let us know down in the comments or scan this QR code if you have any questions on wanting to get something serviced, if you're looking to get on a maintenance plan, and even get a free estimate from the estimate tool on our website. Thank you all so much. Have a good one. Yarbrough.